Oh, I think we're ready. Oh, dearie me. How you doing there, Kyla? How you doing? I am having a great day right at the current moment. Right. Uh, oh, I'm already stressed out, lazy, bored. Well, not bored. Bored's the wrong word. Tired. Like, genuinely just tired. But I gotta get today done and dusted so I can do some content for Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even Thursday. I don't know, maybe taking like a small break for a couple of days. And by that I mean I'm not gonna be talking about much today, so I don't really see the point in me sort of like yeah, I am tired. I don't really see the point in me sort of like overworking myself right now because like over the last weekend I already like I've said on Twitter, turns out when you're helping people move house, it's exhausting. Like you're exhausted. Not been like I've had a long day. I had to like had a meeting today. It's just like oh, I need content for next week. Well, I need content for this week. Yeah, yeah. It's one of these things where I kind of have to sort of create like I don't know, like I kind of want to be online, but I don't want to be online at the same time. It's like, eh, could have done this on Tuesday rather than Monday, but we might as well get everyone done with so I can start editing for Tuesday. Other than that, most of the things we're going to be talking about today, surprisingly, it's going to be a pretty heavy topic, but at the same time, I don't know, the last two subjects, like, it's not going to be a big talk today. Like, I don't want to talk that too much. I don't know why YouTube chat is not being shown here. Why is YouTube chat not being shown on this slide? I understand. Yeah, it's mostly. Listen, there is literally going to be three things that I saw on the docket today that like I was going to talk about V Shoujo last week, but the entire incident sort of just melted away overnight. So what's the point? I don't really have anything to add to it, and I don't really see the point in talking about it anymore because the company subsided in one day. Like, what's the point in talking about it on something like this when more or less it's been talked about already? But yeah, no, that's really why I don't really see the point in talking about it. Not really going to talk about it. I was mostly going to be talking about the Online Safety Act today. There is some stuff like here and there. I don't actually remember what I chose to talk about today. Uh, Nothing about Resident Evil. Nothing about. There is something I want to do with Resident Evil, but well moves fast. Yeah, it does, but I don't know. Like I don't really see the point in giving my take on that because I don't really watch that many VTubers. Like the majority of my friends are VTubers, but I don't talk about VTubers. Like I generally keep away from the actual like it sounds really weird. I'm gonna try and fix something because um it sounds really weird though. Um just because you interact with the community quite often does not necessarily mean you're a part of it, if that makes any sense. Like, I don't know, like, there's always been that sort of weird disconnect I've had with the VTube community. Like, I don't know. Like, there's something like I don't necessarily gel with them all the time. Like, yeah. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just always like the learner mentality. Yeah, it's crazy how yeah, that safety act is crazy. How it spread like a virus. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Well, I don't really have anything to sort of like input, so why would I sort of worry too much? I don't understand what's going on with this box, by the way. Um, it's showing like it's saying that it's working. I can see your comments. I just cannot seem to be able to get it to show on the screen. So I'm gonna first fix that before we move on, and that might be the reason why. Hold up, let me just sign in with my unable to refresh token. Why not? Okay, you might be able to see you in a few minutes. Wrong one. Back. You might be on screen soon because I completely forgot to do this. I can see you, like I can see you on screen, but I completely forgot to do anything. Let's try that. Not too sure if you're on there now, but whatever. You should be on there. Online Safety Act. I guess I can try and like I said, I really didn't do much research for today, but oh, let's see what I can scrunch up today. Where's my screen share? Screen share. Browser. For anyone to know, I use a third-party browser. Like I don't use my usual browser for stuff like this because it doesn't make too much sense to, like, it genuinely doesn't make any sense to sort of, oh lord, yeah, because this account hasn't got my age verification. Yeah, we might not be able to fully see everything at all. Picture of me. That sounds like a long week. It's gonna be a long week. Not, I don't know, like, editing wise, it's not gonna be bad. Like, it's just gonna be, like, I'm just gonna be basically editing this and maybe talking about some other stuff. Anyways, Internet Safety Act. Safety Act. Right. I think I just typed in the word Salty Act. There. Oh, okay. Let's get that one up. Let's get this up. Now. Oh, I'm pouting. Now, for anyone who has not really been, well, who's been living under a rock. Oh, wait, let me just start recording. So now, for anyone who hasn't been living under the rock, the UK has more or less been, I want to say, now put under more or less martial law or government rule, because the idea of the Online Safety Act is more or less in full, it's fully like implemented. Like, the idea is to make stuff safer for children. In exchange, we've now made ourselves more or less destroyed by our own government. And I don't know, it's very deep and personal for me, this one, because personally, I've gone sort of like my entire adulthood, my childhood, always thinking that the value of privacy is more valuable than anything these days. Like, the biggest thing that I always worry, and it's kind of the reason why I think most VTubers will also agree with this. Most VTubers will go and say they're doing VTubing to keep their anonymity, and rather than showing their face, they will do it behind an avatar. And I personally agree with that philosophy. I don't really think that's a problem in any sort of, like, I don't think that's a wrong statement. Doing this behind a camera, doing this behind like an avatar rather than a camera, I don't think it should null and void any argument I have about this particular issue. And the issue I do have with the Online Safety Act is, oh yeah, it sounds like it. Oh yeah, privacy should be anyone's right. Yeah, it's a big deal. It's why I actually love the idea of VTubers. You get yourself a humanized connection. You get a human connection, whilst at the same time you get to do some fun stuff. Like, the idea of VTubing is sort of like, I'm just going to move my head down because I always look out for my hat. My hat is always getting in the way. But the idea behind VTubing is you get to sort of remove yourself from reality for a bit. Like, you don't necessarily need to look at the big pictures. You're going to be looking at a cute anime girl for about, I don't know, 3 or 4 hours and just do something in the background. Like, that is a beautiful part about VTubing. And it's interesting what this actual law has actually entailed. It basically, for anyone who doesn't know what the Online Safety Act is, basically it was originally designed to, I'm not gonna get the original tweet up. Tweet. Gov. Let's have a look and see if we can get a Gov tweet representation. There was this lovely government statement. Oh well, where was her name? Online Safety Act people. We might be able to find the latest stuff. I don't because alright, and like I said before, I do want to keep this as a little. I want to keep this away from politics as possible. This is not a left versus right debate. Personally, I think this is more of an online safety issue rather than a left versus right issue. I think everyone who has sort of talked about this is talking about the fact that this is not safe for anyone, let alone children. And I cannot seem to find the tweet talking about the implication, talking about this. What it was like. Anyways, let's just get some interesting tweets talking about this. So, the UK petition has surpassed. Oh, it affects everyone. It affects everyone. I might even sort of like look at my own tweets for this because I've looked at my own Twitter and it's affecting America, even though you have absolutely nothing to do with it. Now, I will talk about what happened with America soon after this was implemented, but they actually have had a response to this. But let's talk about the petition for a few seconds. The petition in the UK is not necessarily going to work. The way petitions work in the UK is it's going to be put into a debate amongst Parliament. What that basically means is we're going to get a bunch of people, bunch of knobheads just yelling at each other for about, I don't know, half hour, talking about absolutely nothing about the issue, and they'll be done. That's basically all they're doing. They're not going to talk about the major issues. By the looks of what the government's already talked about, they're not actually going to take this too seriously, which is funny because I think this is the most signatures I've ever seen out of a petition. Like, stop killing games. This is close to the levels of stop killing games, and I'm quite shocked that this was even implemented in the first place. Well, it's been brewing for years. Just look at YouTube. Yeah, this has been fully looking for this has been brewing for donkeys. So the government has actually made a response, and we'll go briefly over it. I don't know the intricacies of webpage. I don't understand the full intricacies of all of this. I'm just going to go a few of it. Basically, the primary takeaway is the government is working with Ofcom to ensure that the online scope of the service subject and robust to prioritize. I love being dyslexic and trying to do anything to do with news. Point is, they're trying to keep it within the scope of the services. I'd like to thank all those who signed the signatures. That's a lot of people you're thanking right there. That's getting over to that is 250,000 people you're thanking right there. So, it is right that regulations regimes for the scope of the online services is taken prioritizations, a balance. I love being dyslexic. The government plans to this is the main takeaway you should take away from this. The government plans to not repeal the Online Safety Act. That basically null involves the entire thing that you just talked about right here. This entire thing is pretty much useless because you've basically said what you've actually already said. the government has no plans to repeal the Online Safety Act. Then why are we? There's clearly a vested interest in this. There is clearly an interest, more so than in most issues. If we look at the other petitions found in the government, we have the Online Safety Act actively growing. More so than most. Where are the other petitions? I could do. I swear. Okay, shut down the. Okay. No, we. I'm not going to say that one. I'm not going to say any of these, but you should see. This is getting 2,625 signatures in the last hour. The rest are barely hitting this. This is clearly an interest that the British public have a vested interest in. And quite frankly, I'm not surprised when it's not even like a too big of a deal. Like, the idea was originally to protect children from the online internet. Hold on. I'm gonna search this off stream because the word I'm gonna be using is. I'm gonna search this off stream because I'm gonna look up the word. Oh, I'm gonna look up the word. Yeah. Where are you? Where are you? Where is this? Brick. I love the Twitter. Possibly think that in a week, people will forget about this until it's possible to think that in a week, people will forget about this until it's right in people's face, but it clearly won't be. That clearly won't be the case. It's a big issue at the current moment. Like, there's no way around this. There is going to be a massive problem with this already from a British standpoint. Like, from someone who lives in Britain, I don't feel safe in Britain. That sounds really weird. But I have to type in the word. I don't feel safe talking on Twitter, to be more precise. I can't believe I remembered to say this word with him. Children. Safety. Like, as a British user of Twitter, I think that this has gone way too far for I just think it's gone way too far. It's gone into like international problem rather than like it's turned into an EU problem. It's turned into a United States issue rather than strictly staying in the borders of Britain. And that's a problem. That is a massive problem for me. Oh yes, you can start oh yes, from the standpoint I can understand it's like big brother is watching you. Well, I have a big brother and he doesn't watch me. Well, he doesn't watch me as close as the UK government. Like, he barely, like, he used to. Now he no longer does. I actually really have to look up the tweet that started this entire thing. I really have to look up the issue that started this entire. It's no longer there. I no longer. Do I have it bookmarked? See, this is why I usually bookmark stuff or put stuff in a docket before I go on do this stuff, because I occasionally will lose stuff and it will be like I've got to now edit this and it's going to be annoying. It'll be my most likes. Hold on, my most recent likes. I would have actually liked to tweet about this. Hold on, because I liked a couple of tweets about this. I'm kind of glad you cannot see my screen at the current moment, because I would be kicked off YouTube. Like, I would be kicked off of YouTube. I would be kicked off of everything. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? Why do I like so many people? Why do I like so many tweets? This is annoying, 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 annoying. There we go. I found you. I found you. I found you. I found you. This is the tweet that started everything. This was the tweet that started it all. Watch either. This was the tweet that started everything. Well done to everyone on the campaign to ensure that age verification for pornography was in the Online Safety Act. Today, it has come to force, and without a doubt, there's going to be some ways around it. VPNs, ways around to get around it. It means that young kids, in particular, won't be subdued. I love being dyslexic and not being able to read, but basically, this is the tweet that started it all. This was ground zero, where everything happened. Well, okay, technically it wasn't. This wasn't the main reason, but it's the biggest catalyst this person has ever seen. And again, just because they're Labour does not necessarily mean that this is not to do with politics. It is to do with internet safety. But no, this person, regardless of what you think of them, regardless of what you think of politics, anything like that, regardless of that, this act goes against your own safety. It just does. So let's talk about what the actual way this thing works. And we'll use her example. To continue, we require verifications that you are 18 or older in line with the UK online safety. Please view our verifications options. To view your verifications options, please visit our verification page. As part of the process, you'll be asked to create a new online account for Hub. This will be automatically created. New account. Blah 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 blah. Check my age. The basic idea here is you have to now use some sort of official ID, government standard ID. I do not want to see that. You'll need some government-based ID to get yourself into 18+ environment. Now, what has already happened is there are now online spoof websites designed specifically to trick the general public of Britain to make sure that they are accidentally doxing themselves, essentially doxing themselves, forcing them, because not everyone is tech savvy in Britain. Heck, I have been scammed before. I have genuinely been scammed on the internet. I am pretty tech savvy. I actually did IT as a major in one of my high school, for me it's secondary school. And I did this major, and even I get scammed here and there. What hope has somebody who is actively in a not right state of mind, let's just face it, if you're looking for this particular area of content, thinking, oh, just get it over and done with, just have a look at my credit card or my government issued ID. Like, there are, especially when you're, like, if you're a bit, then yes, people might think, oh, what's the harm? What's the harm in giving shady people my ID? Have you seen the tweets about the 10-year-old passing? I don't want to know about that tweet. That would be That's a very interesting thing to know. Apparently 10-year-olds can get past this very high-tech security issued by the UK government. The problem again here is I don't trust the UK government to do it correctly. I don't trust third parties. I don't trust them to do it correctly. That's the issue. What the heck am I hearing? What am I hearing? You hear that? I hope you can't. Anyways, my biggest issue though there is, like, essentially you've now blanketed the entire UK population to now being a tech-savvy individuals, when half of them probably do not understand what it means to get scammed. Oddly enough, you know who would? Pirate Software. He would understand how to scam people because that's his entire job. I don't trust any government with myself. That's how it should be. That's how it should be. What's interesting about this entire thing, though, is... Let's see if we can get the article up. Go. I'm sorry. Nah. Google. Give me Google. Apple. Apple is officially oh god. Yeah, I don't care. Apple is officially taking legal action against data privacy rows. This was March 2025. So this was an old article. Apple is taking legal action to overturn the demands made by the UK government to view its customers' privacy data requirements. The BBC understands that the US technology giant has appealed to investigatory powers to tribunal to an independent court within the powers of the investigation to claim against online security services. One of these days I'll be able to read without necessarily pausing. It developed basically, the long and short of what this article is saying here is Apple created data protection. Pretty decent. I should just read this. Data protection by Apple. Apple levels of encryption is accessible by the company if warrants are issued, but the firm cannot view their data or shared data encrypted by the toughest privacy tools. Basically, the idea is the UK government want access to Apple's high-tech security data for the UK government. Apple's saying on your bike. And what's interesting about Apple is they spend something like $2.2 billion on security to keep their users private. They genuinely spend almost the size of they spend more on privacy, on data privacy than the most small nations do. They genuinely do care about privacy in some regards, and they have not had a data leak, unlike the UK government, who cannot spend $2 billion or £2 billion to protect its users. Instead, we're going to just put it on a blanket computer somewhere, in which sod knows what's going to happen to it. They're going to be basically just putting it inside a vault somewhere, expecting no foul play, only to one of these days, the entirety of Britain's passport data has been leaked. And there is also another thing that happened years ago. I can't believe I have to cite this character. Credit card. You might remember this stunt. This happened years ago. This article was more than 17 years ago. Top Gear presenter Jeremy Clarkson has to admit that it was run to brands scandals. Is that the right one? This might not be the right one. Hold on. I will go with the mirror. I can't wait to edit this because it's already got a lot of pauses. Jeremy Clarkson gets Twitter trolled by the we might have a problem. Basically, there was a stunt Jeremy Clarkson did a couple of years back. He said that he would post his, I think his credit card details, and I will actually be moving this on over here. Basically, what he said was Jeremy Clarkson said he would post his credit card details to Twitter or some sort of social media outlet, and he said to him, if you can get X amount of money to the X amount of money out of my account without my signature or anything like that, well, you deserved it, because basically I gave my identity. It was basically a test to see how safe he actually was. I don't remember the full story exactly. That's a great thing to remember. I don't remember the full story, but Jeremy Clarkson basically doxed himself and gave his credit card details out. Did all this shenanigans to prove that safety didn't matter too much, only to discover that his entire, something like 100,000, I don't remember the exact amount, but he found out that his credit card was used and donated to, I believe it was I think it was donated to a environmental charity. And it generally just proved how unsafe just the online world is. I don't understand, because this was it was a big story back in Britain. And I'm actually quite shocked that the British public did not take any sort of issue with this. Like, don't remember the story, because I remember it. I remember it clear as day. I still remember it because it was funny AF. I specifically remember that story because I had a good laugh about it. I remember it because it was so Jeremy Clarkson that it was too not. It was like it had to be real because it was Jeremy Clarkson. There was no way it could have not been. I think it was an anti-oil sort of charity or something like that. Save the whales, maybe. But it was big at the time, and I'm honestly shocked that the UK government has actually forgot about that. I genuinely have. But the most interesting thing about this is Wikipedia. Yeah, UK. Have a look at. I'm being asked if I'm a bot. It was a lot too long after this. I'm actually gonna have to look at my own tweets because, again, I've been tweeting about this nonstop because, quite frankly, I think it's something that's needed to be talked about. I genuinely think it needs to be talked about. There it is. There it is. Transition. I think I'm on the right screen. Am I on the right screen? Studio mode. There we go. Wikipedia might end up blocked in the UK due to the Online Safety Act. The platform has stated it is not. The platform has stated they will not implement any rules outlining they won't be doing it because essentially bad actors, stuff like that. Wikipedia is currently going in a legal battle with the UK government trying to stop the platform being censored in the UK or completely blocked. Under the new law, the UK media regulations, Ofcom, is labeling it as a category 1 platform. This would impose strict contact rules if possible, such as age verifications for users, identifying verifications, censorship of harmful topics. Now, that one kind of seems right outrageous, because who is actually going to be deciding what is considered to be harmful or not? Because, like, if we go by that logic, I could very easily say that me personally, learning about the American Revolution is considered harmful. I'm sorry, but no, that's harmful. That's harmful to the well-being of all Brits. So technically, that is harmful to me. No, that is going to be harmful. I don't want to learn about American history. No, I don't want to learn how we lost the war. So yeah, why would I? Well, that's harmful. Wikipedia is already starting. They will not implement. Or has already stated that Wikipedia has already stated that they will not implement any of these rules. Argue that they will be forced to censor critical facts and potentially expose their volunteer contributors to real world harm such as politic harassment or worse, pure documentation of the truth. Now, this was interesting because I didn't understand how a volunteer could be considered to be a real world harm until I realized technically if you're doing this anonymously, if you are making anonymous posts just to contribute to the website being made, well, if you're sort of like, let's say you got a reporter in North Korea, they're essentially having to expose themselves to essentially an identification to prove that they are using the site. So essentially, you've essentially made that one person talking about North Korea, giving you factual information about the country, and you've doxed them to North Korea. It's like, you don't really think about the implications until it's actually enforced. In addition, Wikipedia says that bad actors could easily abuse the new law, and I will state this over and over again. It takes one bad actor, it takes one honeypot just to get yourself an entire new identity. This entire problem lies within the fact that you have to give your actual identification. I don't want to do that. I was scared enough to sign the petition. That's just using my real name. But the fact of the matter is the UK government want us to use their passport and their government issued identification. Easily. So in addition, Wikipedia says that bad actors could abuse the new laws by firmly faking or yeah, we get that. We get what they're trying to say. Wikipedia legal case was heard by the Royal Courts of Justice in 2023 and is ruled. It's going to be ruled in about a month or so. However, their legal arguments were rejected. Category 1 rules: the UK government cannot block access to the entirety. Could block access to the entirety of Wikipedia. This is insane, right? This is insane. The fact that we're getting rid of, might not have a choice, but to get rid of one of the best resources to learn about things is insane. Yeah, no, this was insane to read about because Wikipedia is not exactly, it's not pornography. It's got nothing to do with pornography. It's talking about, it is literally just going over facts and figures and data. It's got nothing to do with adult material, but it's now being treated as if it's the equivalent of Pornhub. It's the equivalent of Rule 34. It's now being treated as that same vein. And this is just a slippery slope. If Wikipedia is being seen as some sort of big old, like, harmful experience towards children, what about other sites that deal with this sort of... What about things like the BBC by itself? That is considered to be harmful material then, because it's essentially educating the users of things that's happening around the world. This is the biggest issue that I have with the Data Protection Act. You're technically having to do the slippery slope when you take into consideration that the Wikipedia, a volunteer-based site, is now being the same, seen in the same eyes and vein as something like Pornhub. And you don't think of things like BBC doing the exact same thing. Heck, The Sun, Page 3 girls. I don't understand this even further. So for anyone who doesn't know, The Sun infamously had something known as the Page 3 girls. And this was a newspaper. A newspaper had scantily clad women all over it. Wasn't that at the time considered to be like a bit, excessive for children? That's something you could buy. That was something you had to buy. I guess history goes. I guess history is gonna have to be censored. I guess it will be, because there's no way we can get because apparently there isn't compromise. The best internet source we have will disappear. There was something that was really kind of egged me about this entire thing though, and it's how people are actually treating this as a left versus right issue. I've already said it isn't a left versus right issue. The issue lies systemically with the fact that it can censor anything and anyone, irregardless of the government. Right now, it is being used to censor things involving protests. And that is insane. We have protests happening in places like Leeds. I won't say what those protests are about, because I don't want to get censored. But essentially, this comes down to the idea that we have now controlled speech that's now implemented. Like, we are now scared to make our own speech. Now, I get it. Freedom of expression and freedom of speech are two very different concepts, but the underlying factor of both of them is that you have the freedom to say what you wish at any time. The fact of the matter is, we're getting to the point where Twitter is now getting a crack team, a genuine crack team, to sort of check what people are saying online. It's crazy. This is my country, by the way. This is my country. And they are acting like Russia. I'm probably gonna... If you never see me again, Kyla, you know what happened. You know what happened. I'm gonna be a mystery that's unsolved, or I'm gonna be in 30 days for saying how I feel. Like, I'm gonna be sentenced to 30 days for a tweet or just this video by itself. Because freedom of expression be damned. We gotta talk about... We gotta be part of the the elite to talk about the actual issues. Well, it'll be crazy. Well, it's crazy that I'm in the US, knowing more about this kind of stuff when it happens in your own backyard. That's another thing that kind of annoyed me. No offense to US people, no offense at all, no offense. I kind of found that. I understand, yeah. I kind of found that no one was talking about this until it was learned that the US was implementing this policy. And it kind of was like, couldn't we just get, couldn't the UK just get a sliver of backup from, the Americans? Couldn't we get, people were talking about it on Twitter. That's because they were being censored. That's because they were being sensitive of their adult stuff. I fear talking. I will talk to fear when we talk about the great legacy you left. Legacy of creating a easy to make one-off video talking about a random subject. That would be a great legacy. Nah, but it's something that genuinely has been pissing me off. And the fact of the matter is, I might not be able to say any of this because apparently I can get jailed for 36 months. Genuinely happened. Someone got jailed for 36 months for writing a tweet. I tweet every day. Am I going to now get jailed for 30? Am I going to get in jail for one of these days? Is one of my bait posts generally going to be putting me in the slammer? Am I going to go to the point where, hey, this dickhead is getting a lot of traction for Ron think we gotta stop him. But no, this is the country we live in. This is the country we live in. Well, I live in. You actually kind of like freedom of speech kind of comes to your principle by itself, but I don't know, like it's a right for you, like. Wikipedia, to be honest, yeah, Wikipedia, whatever Wikipedia does get a W there. What else happened with this entire thing? If you can't tell, like, I genuinely quite am annoyed by this because I think I have every right to be. It's like, we've already got ourselves, like, send it well. If I ever send something to someone, I'll probably send it to Brielle just for the sheer fact that your gov doesn't need to know. Well, they probably know my entire identity. They probably already know. What else was he talking about? Oh yeah, there was also another thing that kind of small implication of what's happened. I'll get this up. This was a tweet. This is a random VTuber that I am moots with. I'm moots with a lot of VTubers. Surprisingly, I'm a moot with a lot of VTubers. But they are not even in the EU. They were getting, due to local laws, we are temporarily restricting access to until X estimates your age. They were getting censored. They're not even part of the EU. Like, could you imagine? Like, this isn't even. You're not even part of the problem. Why are you getting censored? Oh. This doesn't affect. This just doesn't affect you. It affects your family, so you might have the right to be pissed. I do have the right to be pissed. All right, my sweet mother, plays a game. A game called Second Life. Wait, what? Yeah, apparently, it's not only EU. It's no longer the EU countries that's being implemented. It's just like everywhere is getting this. Everywhere is getting. Twitter is no longer like safe for anyone. But no, my sweet old mother, dear mother, plays a game online, and it does have adult branded content. Not necessarily, she doesn't play it for the online content. She doesn't do it for that at all. She's a sweet lady. She generally just does it. I don't even know why. It's just for a bit of fun. Anyways, she has genuinely signed the petition because she doesn't want that service to sort of. How did you know what it was? I don't think I said anything about Second Life. I don't think I said anything about Second Life. Anyways, yeah, she's a sweet lady. She just wants to play this game, and quite frankly, she's more worried that it might be taken down because, well, why wouldn't she? It's a game. She's allowed to have a bit of fun. That's just. It's just cruel. Like, I don't know, like, but no, like, this entire stream's just gonna be about me talking about this one frustration, because it is frustrating. Like, it's not just gonna be, I have my ways, yeah. I don't know, like, I quite actually enjoy hearing about my mother's escapades on Second Life. It's always quite, I don't want to say adorable, but it kind of is. Like, it was always quite adorable. It's just sad. I wouldn't call Second Life quite sad. I'd say it's quite funny sometimes. Like, sometimes some of the stories I heard, jeez, get some right fun laughs from that. But it is just sad about the UK stuff. Like, it's like, I think the best sort of concept, the best sort of analogy I can say for this, the UK government upped the age, or wants to up the age to 16 for voting. They want to up the age for 16. They want to make it so that you're 16 years old so you can vote. And it's like, those 16-year-olds not only having to learn how to vote, they're having to learn the issues, they have to learn the policies, they have to learn what they actually believe in. But now they will not have access to places like Wikipedia because they're not 18. They're not 18, so technically they will not have access to political history, what politics happened in the past. They won't be able to understand things like, I don't know, like how manifestos actually work, what a manifesto should entail. The fact of the matter is, they're asking 16-year-olds who barely understand politics. Maybe they understand it better than me. Maybe they do. But they're asking them to have the same understanding of us, someone who's literally went through Brexit and had to learn politics. I had to learn politics when I was 14. Like, when I was 14, I had to learn what Brexit meant. Oh, it means X, Y, and Z. I had to learn what Remain means. I had to learn what Brexit was. And it's like, you're asking those 16-year-olds who barely have left school to now make an educated decision when they do not have access to the full information. A 16-year-old doesn't need to worry about politics. They don't. If anything, I agree with the Americans, because essentially you've said that you can drive, if I remember correctly. They're still worrying about school, dating, and growing up. Exactly. There is a niche. All right. I will tell you the truth. I'll tell you the 100% truth here. There is a small section found in secondary schools. There is a small section found in secondary schools where you can actually learn about politics. It's called business class. And you can take it as a major. And generally speaking, it's where they talk about how economics works. It's the equivalent of an economics class. And it's like, they're specifically designed for people who have interests in business studies. What the government is asking us all to do is change our entire youth and make them all business majors. Like, don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with learning business, but some of them might not necessarily like enjoy business. But I do specifically remember when I was taking my A levels, the people who took business, there weren't that many people who take business because business is kind of complex for a 16-year-old. But no, no. And then again, I took some stupid GCSEs. I should have actually chosen business. I actually liked business. Hello, I went camping. Hello, DMJ. We are talking about some very serious topics, namely, censorship in the UK. This has gone from a light edge talk show where we talk about random game stuff to now talking about political censorship. But there has been like a lot of political censorship. There has been a lot of political censorship over the last 2 days. It's 2 days. This thing has been implemented in 2 days. In 2 days, we've had so much political censorship it is quite insulting to the general public. Oh, I've taken business classes, but I still have no use for it. Yeah, I can feel that, but I took art classes and I failed art. Oh, I hate censorship. Oh, yeah. I hate censorship too. I don't know, like, just stuff happens here. Yeah. I'm not actually against them teaching politics in secondary school, though. Because I do think you do need to take some classes in politics before you actually have some understanding on how to vote. It's just decreasing the age to 16 kind of opens up the doorway of not really understanding what the heck is going on. Like, if I had to vote when I was 16, I would not understand what was going on. Because like I said, I was the age of Brexit. I was the youth. I was in the age when Brexit was still a massive topic, and I had to learn my own political beliefs. I don't even believe in some of those beliefs anymore. Same, I failed to art too. Interestingly enough, I actually, once I failed art, I somehow managed to get in interactive media and aced that. I'm surprised the US hasn't had well, that's where the interesting thing comes in. I guess I could talk to you a lot about this. The US are officially going for this. Ben, hold up. Let's bring up Moist Critical. So I'm immediately going to be talking. I'm malpointing. Charlie, Moist Critical. There it is. Now, you guys go and watch Moist Critical's video on this take. I will 100% say I did feel a little salty that the only time he talked about it was because of it happening in the US, but yeah, you're not going to be free from this from anytime soon. But go and watch. Oh no, I'm worried. You should be. We've already had issues in the UK. But again, there's this video. I highly recommend it. By Most Critical.
If I asked you to give me your ID to watch this video, provide some form of identification, what would you tell me? I hope your answer would be a resounding no, telling me to go eat dirt. Because that's not just like some kind of innocent, annoying question.
Well, you
that's
should.
legitimately just an assault on
genuinely
freedom. It's an extremely scary and concerning direction the online space is heading. No longer is this just the wacky, wild west of the World Wide Web, where Timmy Turner once surfed on an email in Fairly Odd Parents. Now, it is actively being censored. We're seeing that happen a lot. Censorship is spiraling, especially in video games, with Collective Shout getting...
But yeah, no. Basically, he's now talking about how the US is now implementing this policy.
I'm sure all of you have seen what's happening in the UK right now with their Online Safety Act, where now to access a myriad of content, you need to provide your identification. That's not acceptable.
That is not acceptable.
Like we were all taught growing up.
That is not acceptable. But here is where the things come in, because I understand. I don't know how the US works. I genuinely don't. I'm UK. I'm born and bred UK. So I can't really say how the US works. But I think you to anyone who's watching this, who is in America, actually start figuring out how to fight this, because I think it's actually going to be quite detrimental.
In late May, that aims to do something very similar here. It's a very common tactic where the...
Go watch that video. I'll leave it in the thing. Because honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. The sooner you sort of like figure out what to do about it, I'll try and how do I and stuff. Jeez. Okay, well, you know what the name of the video is. Oh wait, I'm covering the name of the video. Damn. Hold up. There, don't be fooled by this. Yeah, I'm floating. But no. Studio mode. The states have their own government in which the states have their own government which is secondary to the federal government, which is the government of the country. Then those states have their own similar governments. All I'm saying is figure out what you like wherever you live, write somewhere, because like it's. I'm just saying this is already taken into effect in the UK. It has been god awful. It's terrifying, and quite frankly, I don't think I'm going to be honest with you. You don't deserve this, right? I'll say anything about Americans. I'll call you tosspots. I'll call you wankers. I'll call you brats. But you do not deserve censorship. You do not deserve the right to be revoked to go and watch your own filthy films at your own discretion. You do not deserve to be doxxed because of some government body requiring several forms of ID just to see a Funky Friday film or watch Sally Does Handies. You deserve your right to privacy. I will say a lot about America, but I will not deny them the right to watch their weird films. Oh boy, yeah. I don't know what to talk about with this because I've kind of ranted. I've somehow ranted for 50 minutes. I don't even know how I do this sometimes. It just fight the power. If I disappear in the next few weeks, I'll be in jail for about 32 months. And yeah, I'll see ya. Oh, dearie me. Look, the Cheeto man. I spoke too soon. Look at the Cheeto man. Doesn't need. Look, the Cheeto man doesn't need to know what I do. The Cheeto man could. I ain't Cheeto man. The Cheeto man will probably love this. Anyways, let's not get too political because this is not about left versus right. It's not about a twat versus a brat. It's about safety at the end of the day. Although I will say this about one thing. I did actually want to talk about the Epstein files, but I didn't think. I think that's like a way too heavy topic to talk about on. Like again, this is just deeply personal to me. Yes, I could talk about the Epstein files, but it's a little too. I don't know. It feels. I don't know. Like it feels weird to talk about them. If you know what I mean. Like it feels like. For example, I know a lot more about Jimmy Savile than I do about the Epstein files, and that's just a fact because I'm British. Because again, I know about British stuff. I don't know that much about Jeffrey Epstein. The most I know is about one documentary and a couple of things I've seen online. I don't think that's a clear view at the current moment. Hold up. Been keeping up with those recently. I said I don't know that much. Like. The issue isn't necessarily I don't want to keep up with it. It's I don't even know if it's too dark to keep up with at the current moment. Like, I can see why. It's a dark topic. Like, this is kind of like I can make fun and I can make jokes about Wikipedia if I talk about like, and I do have a passion for online safety because, well, I feel like it's been stolen away from me. Like. I feel like overnight the government has genuinely stole away my right to say anything, even when so much is uncertain right now. maybe I will talk about it sometime this week. Like, I do plan on doing like another Too Long Didn't Week this week because I didn't do it last week, and we're mostly just gonna be talking about two other things today. Like, I kind of wanted to get this out because I feel like I needed to talk about it, otherwise I'll go insane. The other thing I want to talk about, I actually don't know what else I was going to talk about. What is on this thumbnail? What was on this thumbnail? Because I'll have to figure out what the heck was that. Lucky for me, I'm following myself. There we go. Pokemon and Tolkien. Do I have to talk about Tolkien and Pokemon? Do I actually have to talk about them? Because it's not like major news. It's going to be like a 5-minute section. Like, do I have to talk about lawsuits involving Nintendo again? Because I'm kind of beefed. I'm kind of exhausted. Yeah, and also just the unknown of who's in power and might shut this down left, right, center. It's scary. Well, I mean, I'm not. Like I said, I'll be more than happy to take any sort of references for immigration. Who? Tolkien. It's a fighting game. Do I talk about? I don't really want to talk. I'll talk a little bit about. This is gonna be the end of the stream stuff, so I might as well talk about it. Let's see. Pokemon. Let's go a little lighthearted. We'll talk about Pokemon. Has absolutely nothing to do with Power Wells for one, but we'll talk about Pokemon. They already cover up the. Did they? They already got. Oh, maybe they didn't. That air? Maybe it's that air. There it is. Okay. Pokemon Legends Zia official Japanese page shares short gameplay of the new elements. And I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't look engaging. No, I'm gonna be one. I'm gonna be honest. It looks boring. It does not look interesting. No offense to Pokemon goers. Like, I don't know how to explain this. In a way that makes sense, because right. If you look at the old Pokemon battle system, the PP system, let's call it the PP system, because penis. This is going to be age gated for that one sentence. If you look at the bye Axios, what is this? What slop is this? Exactly. Like, the biggest issue I have with this is, right, okay, so forget about the comparisons to Power World for a bit. This does not look like anything like Power World. No. It has a vague feel to it, I guess you could say. Like, there is a sort of feeling there. The map is a bit, I like the fact that the map, even down to where the Pokemon are located, which are where I'm covering. But it feels slow. By the way, there's no sound to this. It looks slow. It looks really slow. And it doesn't look like it's playing like an RPG. Like, it doesn't... It looks like it's playing like an action RPG over a Pokemon game. So if we look like at Pokemon... Pokemon... FCW? FWC? I no clue. Wolfie. Pokemon. If we look at Wolfie, Wolfie, like if we look at a regular,
the BXD and PXP with the L4 BMG from BK.
I love not having Twitter Prime, YouTube Prime. Okay, if you look at an average everyday tournament player, right? Wolfie VGC, right? Wolfie VGC. If you look at the way, sort of like the way this is sort of structured, graffiti on there is actually there is a lot of strategy that goes involved when it comes to playing Pokemon. It is not just an action RPG. It has a lot of depth. It genuinely has a lot of depth. A lot more than people give it credit for, especially apparently Nintendo. But if you look at Wolfie VGC's channel, look at any sort of Pokemon stuff he's talked about over the past decade, apparently. I don't know, maybe not decade, 5 years. Point is, Pokemon has always been the sort of like strategic game of chess with online battling creatures, right? Just look at any Wolfie stuff. Look at Wolfie VGC. Wolfie VGC, he will genuinely break down the way Pokemon are done in such a unique fashion. He will do it incredibly. He'll tell you stuff like how nature's work. I'm just going off not what I was expecting to see. I didn't expect to see a salamander. But great content. If we look at the latest Pokemon stuff, it's like there's nothing there. There's like nothing there. There's nothing that suggests there's going to be sort of like a massive depth of strategy. There's nothing that suggests that the gameplay will be... there's nothing that actually suggests that there's going to remain that sort of depth and strategy found within the original like games. If that makes any sense. Like, it kind of just makes me sad looking at this footage, how much it's like Power World, but there's no one, like, we're not shooting at them. Like, we're watching someone else shoot it. We're watching the pals do all the work. I don't know. It's just, when I saw this footage, it's like, it's a cool concept. It just looks dull. It looks really dull. It looks really dull. I guess that leads us to the last topic that I want to talk about today. I'm surprised Pokemon Evo. Actually, that's actually something I want to talk about. I actually think Pokemon should be at Evo. For different reasons. I am scared to fall down. Scroll down. Here is Marble Token footage showing... Yeah. Basically, this year's Marble Token will be at Paris. Marble Token will be at Paris. This is all I really want to talk about. Involving this one. I don't want to talk too much about it because I'm exhausted for talking about whatever I was just talking about. The Safety Act. But yeah, no, this is going to Evo. I guess we'll be watching. Like, I guess I'll be watching out for it because I don't know. I'm actually quite interested in this game. I genuinely quite am. One of these fighting games that actually looks awesome. Oh yeah, I didn't know you were a Tolkien fan. You were a Tolkien fan. Tolkien fan. We're talking about Pokemon here. Also, I just wanna quickly rant about something, right? I wanna quickly rant about this. Quickly rant about this. This is the stupidest idea I've ever had. Okay, it's not a stupid idea. This is a wireless stick controller? A wireless stick controller. I won't even call it the first fight stick that's wireless because I'm pretty sure there's been several. In fact, I think my hitbox is wireless if you put it to the right adapter. But this is kind of ridiculous to me. Like, it genuinely is quite stupid. The point of a stick is so you have a connective. You want the wire there because essentially you don't want any feedback to be lost via the wire. You want it to have the button, you want the button to press and it to have an instant comeback. You don't want the wire to sort of, have issues. You don't want Bluetooth connectivity to eat up your inputs. That's the problem with wireless. We're getting into the fighting game nerd here, but this thing kind of annoyed me because no, you don't want wired in controllers. You don't want wireless controllers for you don't want wireless controllers for wired based console things. Anyways, I'm guessing I went over people's head. It looks funny. I have nothing wrong with the way it looks. Like, I look weird. I look funny. But no, like, it's a weird. I might buy it. I secretly want it, though. I secretly do want it. Like, I secretly want this controller. Yeah, I'm not gonna spend £200 on it, but I secretly want this wireless controller just to see how it works, to be honest with you. Toke. It's coming to Evo. I'm interested in it, but I don't know. I just don't feel best playable experience. Attendees heading over to the Marvel Tolkien Souls Arcs booth from 1st of August. Include a DualSense wireless controller. Yeah. I don't know. That's all I really want to talk about. This game's coming to Eva. I want to look at it. This was before I was hyped up, right? I blame you lot. I blame you lot, right? I was gonna have an easy day today, right? This was gonna be an easy stream. This was genuinely gonna be the easiest stream. And then you lot had to make this interesting. Oh no. No. You couldn't give me an easy stream where I could just talk and rant about whatever the heck I wanted. No. You lot had to make it interesting by making me talk about the Online Safety Act for an hour. I mean, it gave me a better perspective on my point, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not going to thank you. I'm going to power. There. You're not going to get any gratitude from me, even if it is a good thing you did it. But no. Oh, I'm knackered. I'm going to be doing some recording tomorrow too. I might do another stream one of these days. Like, I actually do plan on doing like another stream, but not talking about too long in a week. I mean, they're interesting to do, but like, I like doing them. I do. I really do. But it's worth it. Yeah, it was. I've definitely got a video I can upload about this. I've definitely got I don't know how I'm gonna edit this, but I've definitely got a video I can edit. But no, I do plan on doing like a I don't know. I plan on doing a stream sometime in the future that is not a too long in a week. I don't know what I'm gonna do it on. I'm probably gonna just stream a game. But I genuinely just need a break from editing, and I want to not talk about Let's talking about. I just wanna have a bit of fun. I just want to have a bit of fun on stream. I don't know what I want to do. Like, I don't know. I really just want to have a bit of fun on stream for a bit. I'm probably gonna record something tomorrow for Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel, maybe. I don't know. Those seem to be very popular videos. So I guess I can do something more than that. I don't know what I want to do, but I do plan on making like a month next month, because now I'm not talking about Pokemon, I'm not talking about Marvel talking, I'm not talking about all that stuff. I actually am going to now talk about me. Yes, this is a rare thing to happen, because I don't really talk about myself. I talk about my opinions, don't talk about myself. Most Critical has sort of given me inspiration to sort of... I really want to do a horror game marathon, but not of Resident Evil. Not of Resident Evil. I want to do just a horror game month. And I want suggestions. I'm going to ask Twitter later of what suggestions I could do for that month. Because, I mean, I'm lazy. I'm lazy. I want to do this, but I'm lazy enough to make I'm too lazy to make a list. Probably gonna have something to do with Resident Evil. I do know I want to put Parasite Eve on there. Silent Hill, maybe. Silent Hill Rooms, to be more specifically, because I've never played that one. I've never played actually. What have I not done? I've never actually beaten, and this might be a shameful thing to say. I don't know if it's shameful. It could be shameful. I have never actually beaten Resident Evil, the original games. So that might be a fun thing to do on stream. Other than that, like, nah. I'm coming up with other ideas to do stuff outside of this, because, I don't know, like, it's great to be able to upload every day because of it, but there are weeks where I can't upload because of it. And it's just because it requires me to... I get bored of uploading it. I'm not gonna lie, I get really bored of it. Like, no shame. I don't know what that means. But I don't get bored of Too Long Didn't Week. I don't get bored of editing it. But what I do get bored of is not doing something fun. And that's kind of what I want to do. I want to do something more fun. Because I kind of miss doing something that's fun. Like, I need to sort of like think, oh, let's do one Too Long Didn't Week highlight. Then one regular stream about Yu-Gi-Oh! Master Duel or something like that. I don't know. Like, or something to do with horror game. I don't know. Like, I just want to do something that's fun. What else is there? What else? Oh yeah, fun fact. I gotta bring this up because it's kind of funny. This is generally quite funny. This dumbass video that I made, honestly, is turned into one of my most hated videos, and all I'm asking is for Persona 2 to be re-released. That's all I'm asking in this video. It's such a weird... This is somehow my most controversial take is Persona 2, where is it? And apparently people are mad at that. Alright, they're slightly mad about other things, but that's basically my bulk of the idea, my thing. I just want to get that on the open. Literally, all I want is Persona 2 remake. Where's my pout? Respectfully, I just want Persona... Maybe I should just make a video about that. Anyways, Okay, it's probably more than like probably talking about other things that annoy people, but point of the matter is I just want Persona 2 to be remade. Not controversial here, I just want Persona 2 to be remade. Good game, no one played it, apart from a few people that's played it. I think that's all I really want to talk about today. I'll probably be editing tomorrow all day. Well, not all day. All evening. Yeah. I'll probably be doing something that's more relaxing because I'm bloody knackered after today. I'm bloody knackered after the weekend. I'm bloody knackered. I'm just knackered. I genuinely am just knackered. I want sleep. I want bed. I'm gonna go to bed. I'm gonna go to bed I'll probably just a bug Zep or a Brie. I'll bug them both. Tell them to, I don't know, eat muesli. I'm actually gonna DM them right now. I'm gonna DM them right now. I'm gonna DM them both right now. Eat muesli. Eat muesli. Spell muesli. How do you spell muesli? It's one of those stupid words, isn't it? Like, you don't really... Muesli. Oh, it's I-L. Eat muesli. Eat muesli. There we go. I don't know why where'd my model move? Pop. Alright, I'm gonna sign off, go to bed, sleep, and probably die into morning. You would have thought it'd spell L-Y. It's actually L-Y-I-E-S. M-U-E-S-L-I. That is the weirdest spelling I could find. I think that's how you spell muesli. Might not be muesli. Later, man. Have a good night. Yeah. Have a good rest. Ja, matineo. Cute smile.